Now for the second example. Mark's grandparents are approaching retirement and are interested in relocating to one of the 3 cities where they have a family. Mark helps his grandparents make an informed decision by preparing a summary of average high temperatures, that might be important, I don't know, for 3 cities. This 3 cities means that there's going to be 3 parts to this example. Part 1 is Honolulu, Hawaii. That'd be pretty sweet to go and retire in Hawaii. When COVID was going on at its highest, Hawaii was closed to all the other states and you couldn't go visit it. I think it's open by now. Okay, the first step. The first thing we have to do is we have to find the mean temperature. So just add up all of these temperatures that they gave you and see what the mean is. When I added all those numbers together, I got 849. Now I'm going to take that number 849 in my calculator and I'm going to divide it by how many different data points there were. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I do that division, I'm going to have 84.9 as my mean. Then, the next step is, I hope you're writing these numbers down the way that I am, because I'm about to show you a way that we can save some space and do this subtraction. Now we have to take 84.9 and figure out how far away each of these temperatures are from that number. We have to figure out what is the distance between January's 80 degrees and this 84.9 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 84.9 above that. I'm going to do subtraction. It's going to make 4.9. 84.9. I'm going to subtract 80. It's going to give me the same number. 84.9. Subtracting 81 will make 3.8. And you can continue. Okay, those are all of my distances. Notice that they are all positive. Whatever you would have gotten when you did that subtraction step, make sure that the answer is positive. Once you have all those positive distances, you're going to add them all together. And find out what it's equal to. We're adding together 4.9 plus 4.9 plus 3.8. The number I get is 31.1. The number I get is 31.1. With that 31.1, we just need to find the average one more time. We need to find the mean. 31.1 divided by, how many numbers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that we added together. So we're going to do 31.1 divided by 10 to get 3.11. Let me make some space here. The mean absolute deviation is 3.11. And since all of these things are temperatures, that will be 3.11 degrees. Okay, let me make some space here just so that you can see. On yours, there will be a text box here, and you will answer question number 1 in that text box. Let's go on to the second part. These are the same exact instructions at the top, but now we're going to find what is the mean absolute deviation for Las Vegas, Nevada. Go to some nice hotels, hot tubs, restaurants. It's a nice place, especially when you're old and you have nothing better to do. I'm going to take the list that they gave me, and I'm just going to put a plus sign, and I'm going to use my calculator to add all of these numbers up. On the left side, I got 357. I have 480, and we need to add both of these numbers together, and that would be the same thing as adding all 10 numbers at once. 837 is the total sum of all of these temperatures. We're going to take that number and we're going to divide it by the number of months the number of data points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 10 again. When we divide by 10, it's going to make 83.7. 83.7 degrees Fahrenheit is the mean temperature. With that 83.7, we have to do the next step, which is with that mean temperature, we need to find how far away from that mean is 58 degrees. 83.7 minus 58. We get 25.7. 83.7 minus 62. 21.7. And then once we get to this number 89, even though it's supposed to be a negative number, we're going to write down the positive number for it. You need to change all of your numbers to be positive. Once you've done all of that subtraction, we're going to put a plus sign in between those numbers, and we're going to add them all together. The number I get is 139, and we're going to take that 139 and divide it by, we had 10 data points, so we're going to divide by 10. The answer is 13.9. So the mean absolute deviation this time is 13.9. How does this variability in temperature of Las Vegas compare to Honolulu? If you look back here, last example, the mean absolute deviation was 3.11. Here the mean absolute deviation is 13.9. On your Google slide, there should be a box here. I want you to answer the question for number 2 that compares those mean absolute deviations. Finally, there is one more to do, and I'll leave this one to you. This is the last city for Mark and his grandparents that they're interested in retiring at. So go ahead and see the mean absolute deviation for the temperatures for 10 months of living in Fairbanks, Alaska.